Yeah, somebody let me know. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Christ Church Presbyterian. I feel like I'm all alone up here with Bruce. It's a joy to have you all joining us this morning. My name is Ryan Bigham, and I'm the associate pastor here, if you have not met me yet, and we'd like to welcome you here for our worship service this morning. I just want to run through a few announcements before we would begin our service this morning, and you can find all of these in your bulletin, and I'll just make a few additional announcements as well. First of all, if you would please take the friendship register that's on the inside of every pew, make sure that you fill that out and pass that down the row, and as you do so, we would like to invite you to our Wednesday dinner and Bible study that we will be having this week. That begins at 5:30 where we have dinner, and then immediately following we have an opportunity for Bible study and fellowship with one another. We'd like to invite you to do that, to join us for that. And so as you pass that friendship register down the row, there should be a little box indicating a sign-up for Wednesday dinner. Please let us know that you plan to come so that we can make sure that we plan for enough food. So join us for that as you are available. I'd also like to remind you that this month, the month of August, we are taking officer nominations. That's an opportunity for you to nominate a man that you believe is qualified for either the office of elder or deacon. And so we encourage you to pick up slips in the back of this building. There were some in the back of this room last week, but they are at least out on the table at the back of this building. Please make sure that you contact the person before you nominate them. Make sure that they are willing to serve before you would nominate them for that office. And then a third announcement for us is that this next weekend, so this coming Saturday and next Sunday, is our annual Bible conference. And so we have been pushing that for a while now, but we'd like to remind you yet again that we are going to be having that Bible conference this next weekend. And just a couple things regarding that. First of all, you can join us for the dinner that is on Saturday that begins around 5:45 p.m., and you can RSVP for that either using the slip that is in your bulletin, fill that out for us and drop it in the offering plate, or you can also sign up for that online. And I would draw your attention to the schedule that is in the bulletin. It's all listed out there. We begin with the first session at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. There's dinner in between, and then 7 p.m. on Saturday is our second session. And then we will have a Q&A with Dr. Scott Swain during the Sunday school hour. Now, I'll just make a brief comment about how that is going to work. We are going to have an online form where you can submit questions the day before. So after you hear him talk about the nature of God's sovereignty and the foundation of God's sovereignty, if you have any questions, you can submit those online, and then I will be collecting those, and I will be asking a number of those questions to him during that Sunday school hour. So that's the way that is going to work. And then he will be speaking for us during our morning worship session and our evening worship on Sunday. And you'll see that there's a slight discrepancy in the bulletin. It says that Sunday evening service begins at 7 p.m. It actually is at our normal hour at 6 p.m. So please make a note of that as well. And even as we are making those announcements, I would like to encourage you, just as a reminder, our church has an evening worship service. And I'm not saying that because you may be completely unaware, but a question that I have received personally is your evening service the exact same as your morning service? And that's an honest question. A lot of churches do that. No, it's a completely different thing. So this evening worship service, it's a second opportunity for you to gather together with the people of God and to be fed by the Word of God. And so we'd like to encourage you to join us for that, because what is better than meeting with God and His people 52 times a year is to meet with God 104 times a year. Isn't that true? To be with God and with His people 104 times a year. So we'd encourage you to join us for that. And then the final announcement that I would make for us this morning is a number of you have asked about Pastor Robbie. As you know, that he had surgery on Wednesday. He came through that well. The surgeon was pleased with how things went, and he is at home resting. So be in prayer for him as he's recovering and with all of the pain that comes with that recovery. So just be in prayer for him and for his family. Well, we have gathered together this morning to worship our God. Let us take a moment and quiet our hearts before we worship Him together.